A storyteller cannot balance things. If you are showing atrocities against Dalit by the upper caste, why nobody says that balance it between both? People are either very, very vicious and very inhuman, or they are naive, or they are plain idiots. I mean, if they can't see that all the Kashmiri Pandits who are the natives of this land don't live here at all. You name a field and you will find that Bengal's contribution is immense. And therefore Bengal, I'm very, very concerned about Bengal, where it is going, from where it has come and where it's going. And therefore it's very important to make that telefiles so that the world knows Bengal's contribution. That shocked lots of people in Bollywood.
Yeah.
You know, because what they want to think about me is very different from what I am. They call themselves liberal, and liberal is a political term. But I mean, if they are liberals, then I'm god of liberalism.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm saying it with a lot of pride, because I practice liberalism, I practice progressiveness. I don't talk about it much, you know. They said, "Arey, we identify him with some right-wing politics and all those things." Why do they identify me with right-wing politics? Because they think I've made this film Kashmir Files. It talks about Hindus, and that's why it's right-wing politics.
Hello and welcome to India Today. My name is Zenia, and today we have with us none other than Vivek Agnihotri and Pallavi Joshi, two people who don't need an introduction. You have obviously must have seen the Kashmir Files, love it, hate it, but you know you can't ignore it. It has made its mark, they have won several awards, and now they are back with Kashmir Files Unreported. It's a docu-series that will show the testimonials of Kashmiri Pandits. So it's a series from their eyes. And we will talk to them about the series. First of all, welcome to India Today.
Thank you, Zenia.
The first thing is that, you know, after Kashmir Files, there were a lot of people who said they had polarizing views about the film. So do you feel that this docu-series is going to eliminate that?
There are two things which can happen.
Okay.
All those naysayers or the genocide deniers will get more rattled.
Okay.
And they will throw more abuses at us, and they will threaten us, and they will call it, if they called it propaganda at that time, now they'll call it hyper, super duper propaganda.
Okay.
Because they want to deny it, right? And they feel exposed seeing it. If they were exposed with the Kashmir Files, with this, they will have no place to run.
Okay.
Because this is not our interpretation. This is straight from horse's mouth. People who were victims and first generation victims, not people who have heard stories, so the real one. And the second thing which can happen is, which I think is a rare possibility, which is that they can learn from it and they can realize their mistake in criticizing it, and accept that yes, indeed, the genocide happened, and they will also pledge with us that they will, so that it doesn't happen in the future. But I think that sounds more like fiction to me, and fantasy like the first possibility is more probable.
But then again, you know, dreams do come true. I mean, you have said in several interviews that you had never thought the Kashmir Files would get the amount of love or get the amount of business that it did. So I think with that, we can be hopeful, right?
Yeah, sounds like utopia, but yeah, we should be optimistic. Why not?
Yes. And there's also this thing, since this is a first-hand account, so I'm sure when you made the Kashmir Files, you had heard several first-hand accounts. But this, with the trailer, it looked quite hard-hitting. So how difficult was it for you as an individual to process all the stories that you heard? And what was the probably one most challenging or most heartbreaking part about making Kashmir Files Unreported?
Unreported, you're talking about. The process of research was extremely difficult, because once you see the series, you'll understand why. Let me start with the series first. What was most difficult was to just pick up the testimonies that would go in the series, because we have over 700 testimonies of people, and we have the victim testimonies with us. Then there are also people who have served in the military here, who have served in the J&K police.
Okay.
There are authors, there are historians, there are all kinds of people who have, spoken to us. So to pick the, the most relevant ones and make sure that we are giving the entire picture of what happened during the 1990s here through all these testimonies was probably the most difficult thing for us to do, because obviously we couldn't put everything that we have in this series. So who do we eliminate? Who do we keep?
Whose voice do we?
That took a very long time. So we spent a lot of time in the edit first. And having said that, once you see these, you'll realize how difficult the whole process of interviewing these people was for us. Spending sleepless nights because there was just no unwinding. And then through these 700 testimonies, at least Unreported was a shade better for us because we still had 7 episodes. In film, we had only 3 hours. So how do you put the whole thing in a story format with just a handful of characters when 700 people have spoken to us about 5 lakh displaced Kashmiri Pandits? So it was a mammoth task.
Absolutely.
Seemed impossible from every way, but both the film happened and now the series is happening.
Here we are, yes. Also, one criticism about the Kashmir Files was that it's not balanced. I think that is where the entire narrative of the film being a propaganda came from. As in, the balance, obviously this is about Kashmiri Pandits, so that was the focus. But also a lot of people thought elements could have been added to make it balanced. What was your take on that, and do we find that balance in Kashmir Files Unreported?
See, if you really want to see balance, go to a gymnasium show, go to a circus. There are those girls walking on the rope, they balance very well. Or you can listen to some politicians or some media people who do very good monkey balancing, but it's not an artist's job.
Okay.
A storyteller cannot balance things. If you are showing atrocities against Dalit by the upper caste, why nobody says that balance it between both? Right?
Okay. Okay.
Isn't it?
Yes.
When you show that police is oppressing poor people, everybody claps at those films. Why not balance them? Every cop is not a bad guy. When you show the politicians, when we pass these kind of statements, even in media, you are from media, that politicians are corrupt, when we write these kind of things or say these kind of things, why don't we balance it? There's no good and bad cannot be balanced. Ram and Ravan cannot be balanced. It's impossible. And people are either very, very vicious and very inhuman, or they're naive, or they are plain idiots. I mean, if they can't see that all the Kashmiri Pandits who are the natives of this land don't live here at all. And even if somebody from any Hindu who comes from outside is he's killed, he's targeted. Every day, your magazine keeps reporting it. India Today reports it all the times. Every month, something like that is happening. Okay, and so all Kashmiri Hindus live outside of Kashmir, whose land this is. Okay, and people who came and invaded this, they live here. Okay, I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying the origin source. But have you ever met even one Kashmiri Muslim who says that, oh, I live in Delhi because I was forced out of Kashmir?
No.
Do you even imagine in your wildest of the most fantastical dreams, can you ever find any Kashmiri Muslim who would say, no, but you will find Sikhs, you'll find Buddhists, you'll find Dalits, you'll find Gujars, you'll find Hindus who don't live here anymore. Right? Then, so if somebody is saying that I have to balance this, is either a very, very vicious person, very extremely vicious person, right? Inhuman, barbaric in thinking, right? Who justifies oppression. It's like somebody who justifies rape,
Okay.
right? What would you think of that person? Or somebody is naive, doesn't know anything, gullible, he's been brainwashed, or a dumb idiot, a stupid person. Okay, only these three kind of people can say something like that about balancing. And if anybody who even asks this why it's not balanced, I think you know the answer.
Okay, so do we sort of like also find voices of, say for example, testimonials of Kashmiris, like Kashmiris in general, not Kashmiri Pandits, those who are living here in Kashmir Files Unreported?
No, this is only about Kashmiri Pandits.
Okay.
Right? It's like if there is a series on Holocaust,
Then
on the video testimonials of Jews about the war crimes, is
They
saying,
won't
do
have-
we also find some voices of some Nazis? No, you don't.
Because there had been
A docu-series about the oppression of women will never ever find the voice of men who
men.
oppress. Period. Simple. This question is invalid.
Okay, all right. Okay, and you know, there's also you are a part of. You have studied in JNU and IIMC.
IMC, yeah.
Yes.
Are you from IMC?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
from IIMC.
good.
You are my very super senior.
Okay,
in
yeah,
that way.
super duper senior.
Yes.
I am Gauri Lankesh's batch.
Okay. So, have you kind of shown this to any of your friends or professors from JNU?
Oh yeah, of course. They had invited me also. Yeah,
Okay.
IMC invited me. They felicitated me over there. I
Yes.
went there. I spoke to all the students, and yeah, they feel very inspired and motivated. They said, okay, which means we can do that. And I just told them something, that journalism and is about finding truth. Okay, and truth is very, very harsh.
Yes.
The problem is that we have started believing in convenient truths, and that's where I think journalism is failing.
Okay.
That's what I
Alright.
told them. Yeah.
So would we expect, like, probably because Bahattar Hure, you know, was recently screened in JNU, would we expect a screening of this series in JNU?
No, now we see it's impossible to. I mean, there's no point screening it anywhere because everybody has seen this film, so there's no point.
The docu-series, a part of the docu-series.
Yeah, if they invite,
maybe.
then why not? Yeah, if they
Okay,
do, yeah.
so the students there can be hopeful, of course.
Yeah. If
Oh
they do.
yeah, one.
And, you know, there is Delhi Files lined up for release. There is the vaccine war lined up for release this year in Dussehra. So, both the films have very different storylines, and they have... so, what would your focus be after you finish these two?
I think only time will tell. Right now we are into the post-production of Vaccine War. Should be out in the next couple of months.
Yes.
And after that, we'll begin the shooting of Delhi Files as and when the scripting is complete. We are hopeful that we should be able to release the movie next year, in 2024. If not, then if it goes to 2025, you know, it's still a long way off. So we are looking at different projects, but haven't really consolidated on anything yet. We are putting all our energies into Delhi Files now.
Wow.
But one thing is for sure, as soon as we finish with the release of the Vaccine War, and before we start the Delhi Files, I'm sure we would have thought of the next project.
Okay, and then we can probably ask
Then,
you and
yeah,
get a
maybe then I'll be
better
able to answer.
picture. Yes, and a lot of people, you know, Vivek ji, a lot of people said that you would probably be making Bengal Files because of that war with Mamata Banerjee that happened over Twitter. We also. So is that anywhere in the pipeline?
See, I mean, I could have called it Bengal Files because the film is about Direct Action Day in Bengal, and then all the politics of Bengal and how it has influenced India. And but the thing is, the reason we call it Delhi Files because the destiny of India is written in Delhi, not in Bengal. And Bengal is also suffering, and it is suffering because of what happened in Delhi in 1940s, 45, 46, 47 and so onwards. So yes, but the film mostly deals with direct action day, Noakhali and the partition of Bengal and stuff like that. And we have just finished research after 4 years, and now we are into scripting, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, because Bengal has always been, you know, like the hotbed for politics. You've seen so much happen in Bengal over the years.
Yeah, they love, their DNA is politics, I think. Yeah.
I'm a Bengali, so yeah.
I was going to ask you, you know.
So, and...
but also you have to understand, right, that lots of great things about India have their origin in Bengal.
Yes.
This Bharat Mata, we visualize the Devi, has also come from Bonga Mata and then changed to Bharat Mata. This entire nationalism movement, the Renaissance, the poetry, the science, the literature, even movies, and all these things, the Vande Mataram, right, the biggest gift. Spirituality,
Jangan
yeah, Jangan of course, spirituality, okay, the social reforms.
Yes.
So you name a field and you will find that Bengal's contribution is immense. And therefore Bengal, I'm very, very concerned about Bengal, where it is going, from where it has come and where it's going. And therefore it's very important to make that Telefile so that the world knows Bengal's contribution and how it's being destroyed.
Yes. Now...
You're not a communist.
I try to keep it balanced, but being balanced in politics and your political thought is a very difficult path to walk in. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Yes. And, you know, Pallavi, this is like completely different from Kashmir Files Unreported, but we have seen you in so many TV shows which were way ahead of its times, and they are still loved by so many people. Now, not just as an actor, but also as in the capacity of a producer, would we ever see you making a comeback to TV?
I would like to say a big fat no, unfortunately, because I call them the good old Doordarshan days when people were experimenting with television, and we had great directors like Shyam Benegal, Govind Nihalani, Sudhir Mishra, Ramesh Sippy, you name them, they were all on television doing some great work.
Right.
Because that was the time of weeklies. And we would very typically get about 3 to 4 days to shoot for a half an hour episode. Ever since the advent of daily soaps, television has become a monster which needs to be fed 24/7.
Right.
And some of the serials now run for 30 days a month. You know, there are certain months of the year when they have the episodes every single day, even on Sundays. How do you churn out 26, 27 minutes of material every day with the same passionate energy?
And quality.
You know, year after year. It's impossible. So the quality has gone down considerably. The storylines have gone down. When I was doing television, there were serials like Rajni, there was Udaan, there was the series I made called Arohan, there was Mrignaini, there was Bharat Ek Khoj, there was Tamas. Great women character. Television was so progressive, and see what has happened to it now. The Saas Bahu drama has just brought the whole thing, it's come down like a pack of cards. And I don't see myself fitting in
that
any mode, wearing a heavy Kanjivaram sari and making tea for my husband in one of the television shows, you know.
Okay. And, you know, you have had so many, you know, over your years in the film industry, you must have made so many friends with whom your political outlook might differ, political opinions might differ. So how do you maintain that friendship with that clash of ideas as well? Because, you know, you like you mentioned Sudhir Mishra, and then there was a very friendly but Twitter back and forth between you and...
No, see, Sudhir Mishra actually wrote on Twitter. He didn't. It's very, very funny, and it's a lesson for a lot of people. He said that Vivek, I don't know, but I'm paraphrasing it.
He said something to the effect that, you know, a lot of people like don't troll Vivek on Twitter, but then go and see his movies.
No,
Something of the
he
sort,
said
right?
Vivek's audience always goes back.
Yeah.
But here my liberal friends, they talk a lot, but they don't even come to see film, something like that.
Huh.
So he was very disappointed with that. So I said, listen, why are you saying Vivek's audience and your audience? There is an audience for movies. And his complaint was that nobody is promoting his film.
Okay.
So I said, I'll promote your film, come over. And that shocked lots of people in Bollywood.
Yeah.
Because what they want to think about me is very different from what I am. They call themselves liberal, and liberal is a political term. But, I mean, if they are liberals, then I'm god of liberalism.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I'm saying it with a lot of pride because I practice liberalism, I practice progressiveness. I don't talk about it much, And so they said, Arey, we identify him with some right-wing politics and all those things. Why do they identify me with right-wing politics? Because they think I've made this film Kashmir Files. It talks about Hindus, and that's why it's right-wing politics. And now I have a question to ask them is that the film is about terrorism versus Kashmiri Pandits.
Yeah.
Okay, the film shows, the first scene of the film is where a Muslim boy helps a Hindu boy. So it starts with goodness of a Muslim community. So, but it's about terrorism. The villain of the film is based on Bitta and Bitta Karate and Yasin Malik. And they are defending them, right? So, is terrorism progressive politics, liberal thing, or defending them is right-wing? I mean, I don't understand. So, these are confused people, basically. So, I said, Sudhir, why don't you come? I'll promote it. He came, we spoke, we discussed about things. He spoke about my work, I spoke about his work, I promoted him, and he got a lot of eyeballs that way, and his film got promoted.
Yes.
Then till date, he has been writing that his friends, liberal friends in film industry, who he thought were friends, are not promoting his film still when it's come. And he tagged me, and I promoted again when it came on OTT or Netflix. Again, I promoted it. Why shouldn't I do that?
Yeah.
He's a filmmaker. He has made a good film. Why shouldn't it be promoted?
Yeah,
So if somebody asks, I'll do it again.
All right. And last question, recently the very, how do I say, spine-chilling visuals of Manipur violence had come to the forefront.
Yeah.
And it really has left us all shaken. So what is your take on that?
No, but I'm not shaken.
Okay.
I'm shaken every single day because these news come every single day. Just few days back, didn't you see that little girl was stabbed by a boy so many times? So a few days before that, we came from Rajasthan, same visuals where they were burnt.
Yeah.
From Chhattisgarh it came. A few days back, I saw in Chhattisgarh, the tribal boys ran naked in front of capital city. I mean, this is happening every day, everywhere. I mean, we have become so compassion deficit society. We have become such compassionately numb and compassionately fatigued society that unless something goes viral, and everybody says it's viral, and unless 10, 15, 20 celebs and film stars don't write about it, we don't feel anything. The reason people are feeling so shaken up is because of FOMO.
Okay.
Do you know that? We are all victims of social media. If we are genuinely honest human beings, right, then we will never call Kashmir Files or Kashmir Files Unreported propaganda. That question must not be in anybody's inbox. If those questions are raised, which means we are a very selectively outraging society. And Manipur, and just a few days before that, the entire village was burnt in Manipur. Nobody spoke a word. Nobody spoke a word. In Bengal, you are from Bengal?
Yes.
How many people were killed in Panchayat elections? Tell me.
The numbers?
Hundreds plus. How many women were gang raped?
Many.
In tens.
It happened.
Why wasn't it shaking us up?
It did, I think.
No,
but
no.
It
no,
was,
because
did not
no
get so much of
celeb commented on it.
Yes.
It was not viral and trending on social media. It wasn't trendy. Manipur, everybody will forget in 4 days. Take it from me in writing. We'll do nothing about it, right? And that's why what I do is normal for a human being, an artist to do. It looks so courageous and bold and fearless because everybody else has become very, very scared. That's the problem.
And also, I think.
And thanks for making me speak so honestly, because you are my, क्या कहते हैं, एक ही गुरुकुल में जो लोग पढ़ते हैं ना, they become like guru sisters and guru brothers. So you are like my real sister from my institute. That's why I'm telling you so honestly.
Okay, thank you so much. And also, lastly, one word for all aspiring filmmakers and producers who want to be a part of the film industry.
If you really want to be a good filmmaker, okay, just delete the Bollywood mindset and you'll be fine.
And for you, Pallavi?
I would say, if you're Indian, be Indian, behave Indian, and let the Indian stories come out. Show the entire world what India is all about. Tell Indic stories, deal with Indic problems, and bring everything good about India in front of people.
Wow.
Because we are here to stay. India is going to be, I see India a superpower very soon. So let us all celebrate India.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vivek ji. Thank you so much, Pallavi ji, for joining with India today. Thank you so much.